Good morning, Rhinos. Welcome back to Crash TV. I'm your host, Emmett DeWark. Today is Monday, September 19th, and we have even periods. In today's show, we'll take a look at the PSAT, what students and staff are doing during the fall, interviewing football players about their pregame rituals, and what students would bring if they're stranded on an island. Now, let's talk about the PSAT coming up on October 12th.
A lot of students were wondering what the PSAT is about, so here's some information on it.
The PSAT is important to take because it gives you a good idea of where you stand as far as the standardized tests go if you're thinking about going to college. In California, the schools are test blind, which means you don't need the PSAT, the SAT, the ACT in order to apply to a California State University or a University of California school. However, it gives you a good idea of where you stand as far as your eligibility to be accepted.
The advantages of taking the PSAT is exposure. It helps you to understand what you might see on the SAT, helps you to develop your time and your use of your time and kind of how long you should spend on the SAT. And also, if you score really well, there are scholarship opportunities available. Definitely check out Khan Academy. You can actually link your PSAT account to Khan Academy, and the great thing about that is it provides some study tools before you take the PSAT as well as responses after. When you link the accounts, you can see like what questions you got wrong, and it'll help guide you in like some tutoring for how to do better in those questions later. So definitely check out Khan Academy. You can also talk to a college and career specialist, and they will have some more details on things that you can do.
Okay, tell me when you're rolling. Now that you guys know everything about the PSAT, make sure you guys study.
Also, with the fall season approaching, we will talk to students about their favorite fall traditions and give the inside scoop whether pumpkin spice is overrated or underrated.
What's your favorite fall trend or tradition?
My favorite fall tradition is going to Apple Hill.
My favorite fall tradition would probably be just crunching the leaves on the floor. It's probably got to be the best.
Pumpkin patch. Going and carving pumpkins.
My favorite fall trend is to decapitate pumpkins and carve the symbols of my ancestors on them, which is usually like a ghoul or a ghost or some sort of jack-o'-lantern face. Decapitating pumpkins, pumpkin guts everywhere, solid.
Is pumpkin spice overrated or underrated?
As a smell, underrated. As a taste, overrated.
That's a good answer.
Overrated when it's just the spice and no pumpkin. Underrated when it's more pumpkin than the spice.
I hate it. Cannot stand it.
Well, considering I'm a basic teacher, pumpkin spice, completely underrated. I have pumpkin spice flavored goldfish in my classroom right now. Don't believe me? Go find it. It's there.
Pumpkin spice flavored goldfish is a thing. Is that actually a thing?
You need to go down to my classroom now and get some. Legitness. Just open it up. Oh, I ripped the bag, but you just gotta open it up. Oh, just take a sniff.
Yeah, pretty good.
10 out of 10, fire.
Ooh. Can confirm, those are actually pretty good. Target. You can get them at Target.
Now I'll toss it over to Zoe Need for TBHS Sports.
Hey, I'm Zoe Need, and welcome back to the Crash TV Sports Report. This past week, the girls' volleyball teams fought some hard battles against Center, with Frosh losing a tough one 2-1, JV winning in 2 games, and varsity winning in 3. Girls golf took on Colfax last Tuesday and emerged victorious. The varsity, JV, and Frosh football teams each took on Wheatland, and here are the scores for those games below. Attention girls soccer players, there's a mandatory info and sign-up meeting tomorrow, Tuesday, September 20th, from 6 to 7:15 p.m. at the TVHS Theater, and I hope to see you all there. Just curious, but have you ever wondered what goes through a football player's mind? Well, me too. I asked a couple of football players what goes on in their heads before a big game and what their pregame rituals are. Roll the footage.
How do you mentally prepare yourself before a big game?
Before a game, I listen to music, go over my plays, make sure I understand my assignment for that game, and just making sure I'm mentally there and ready to go.
All right. And what's your pregame ritual?
Usually I listen to music, get taped up, and then as game time approaches, I get ready to go hit somebody.
I like that. How do you mentally prepare yourself before a big game?
Usually the night before, I kind of go through all of the plays on my wrist card and all of the plays that we have in our playbook to just kind of get used to it and know what everyone's doing. Yeah.
And what's your pregame ritual?
Usually I just listen to music, not like super hardcore, like young boy hard rock, anything like that. Kind of just calming music, like maybe like slow music. Not super slow music, but like semi-slow music, like Drake, Kendrick Lamar, just to stay focused.
Those are pretty good.
Thanks.
Welcome back to the Niner Report. The 49ers had a rough opening game against the Chicago Bears with the end score being 10-19.
During the game, starting running back Elijah Mitchell sprained his MCL and is now on the injured reserve.
This injured reserve list includes other big names such as cornerback Jason Verrett and free safety and defensive back Jimmy Ward.
There is some good news.
That's right. The Green Bay Packers suffered a terrible and agonizing loss against the Vikings with the end score being 7-23. So even though the Niners lost, the Green Bay Packers losing made my day just a little bit better.
The 49ers play the Seahawks on Sunday, so we'll give you more updates on the next edition of the Niner Report.
Now back to the original scheduled programming.
Homecoming is quickly approaching. Leadership needs help the next 2 weeks with decorating the homecoming halls. Make sure to sign up on Schoology. This week we will be planning and collecting materials for the halls. Make sure you go all out because what you create will be used to help decorate our dance. There will be a class meeting this week to discuss the rules and steps in hall decorating. Now we'll interview students and staff on what they would bring if they were stranded on an island.
What are 3 things you would bring if you were stranded on an island?
A boat, a friend, so I could sacrifice them maybe, and a banana.
3 things that I need to bring. One's gonna be my math textbook. I need to make sure that I have that with me. Number 2, I gotta have my Black Mamba jersey. Everybody's gotta remember, Black Mamba for life, right? And the last thing that I would wanna bring would bring a car door. That way if I get hot on that desert island, I could just reel it down, cool me down.
I would bring my dad because he's a hard worker and he's really good at survival. I would bring a private jet so I could fly out of the island, and I'd bring my personal chef so I could have some really good food.
3 things that you bring if you're stranded on an island.
Do I look preppy? Okay.
Say the 3 things.
My phone, my sister, not my
Enjoy.
Hey.
I'd bring my phone, food, and a boat.
An ice chest, George Washington, and pickles.
I would probably bring my dog, food, and maybe mango orange juice.
Okay. 3 things. Just put it here. It doesn't need to be that close, Joy. Have you been shoving it up their faces this whole time?
I'm sorry, I didn't know.
I would take a house, my phone, and a charger.
I would bring a flare gun, probably Taco Bell, and a sleeping bag.
Gum. swallow your gum.
Thank you for watching. See you next week. Miles Country, let's ride.